Okay, that's pretty bright. So if you go back to the beginning, this is pretty much the way it showed up. Had this air cleaner on it. The only thing I did was take those loose from the rubber connectors because I had to pull the dipstick to clean. So that goes back later, but the dipstick goes right here. So this is the dual plane intake. This is a 1980 Fiat. Some of it's already been disconnected, right? So the air pumps over there on the bottom, runs up here, pumps air into there. So we're gonna de-smog, declutter. This shit doesn't work anyway. Well, it may have worked when it was new, but it doesn't work anymore. So all it is vacuum leaks and crap. So we're taking it off. So first thing is, this is glaring, so I'm going to move it. And I'm just going to put a towel over here so we don't drop anything inside. It makes a pretty good armrest, but you'll smash that filter too, so gotta be careful. I put a towel in here so we don't drop anything down into the chambers. And we're gonna pull shit off. I'll show you the quick and easy way and the really hard way, which means I'm doing it the really hard way. You want to plug this, right? Getting it off is going to be a pain, and it's probably going to break, because so far all of them have broken. But we'll get back to that in a minute. Or will we? No, let's just do it right now. Let me see. It's going to be impossible to get this on. So that's a 1 inch. Oh, look at that. The whole thing comes out, we're winning. I didn't see which part turned though. My big head's in the way? Yeah, well, it's because I'm trying to look. So, what we can do is we can get a pipe fitting and put it on top and screw it down. And that'll block that off. Or we can try to pull it out and put a plug in it. So let's see if it'll come out. So this one's 24 millimeters. You need a deep socket. Let's see if it'll turn. Oh my God, yeah. Sorry. I'm making it look simple. Okay. So now all we got to do is find a plug with the same thread, and then we'll plug it. And we're done. Alright, so the top hat was a 1 inch to get it off. And then the bottom one was 24 millimeters. When I go to the store, figure out what it is, I'll let you know, and then we'll put it in. So continuing on the de-smogging, we got this one out, and I'm pretty sure I have it matched up to 18 millimeter by 1.5, which would be the same size as an O2 sensor. But I can't find my O2 sensor. Hold on. GoPro, stop recording. Okay. So we're back. desmogification. So we sealed up this one on the top. It was 18 millimeter by 1.5 threads. So this is the air pump down here, and it's just bolted to the side, and it wasn't hooked up, so nobody was using it. So the easiest, let me see, what the hell, so there's a big ass bracket over here. This will grab. And this whole thing, I take it loose from the bottom, and then it should just come out, and then we take the bracket off. Doc, I got your favorite hammer. Got it. It's a 13 millimeter on that side. This side's got a flat edge, so it'll slide out. It slid out pretty easy. And then we're just gonna so you can leave this bracket or you can remove it. When you take it off, the studs are going to stay. So we're going to take it off because it'll just get in my way. Those look pretty big. Not really. Too much angle. Too much angle. Okay. So this is the medium. I need you to do what I say. Bar. Yeah. Stud came out of that one. So there's one stud left and somebody's washer. Two of them. Probably not mine, but maybe. Okay, so we got the smog pump removed. See how much nicer that is? But see, now you can see all this goop on this motor mount. So more stuff to clean. So this is a follow-up to the de-smogging video. We pulled the air pump off. One of the studs came out, so I removed the other stud, fired it up. There's oil coming out of here, so put the studs back in to keep the oil in. Gotta have the studs in there. That's an oil passage. This is not. And the next thing I don't like is this. It does not protect this from heat, and there's nothing underneath it except the exhaust manifold. Oh no! My snap-on tool just broke. Okay, fixed it. Here's what the inside looks like. So it just took hot air from the exhaust and it used to suck it into the intake. Okay, so this side's done except for the cleaning part. That comes later. Let's see if there's anything else I want to do. So this pipe is the same thing. It runs down here from the exhaust and it's going to push hot air through an open passage in here into the intake manifold on the other side. So you got hot air, you have hot air going in to the air coming down, and then from here you got hot air going into the intake manifold to heat that manifold up. And that was also, you could get off the choke faster. Less pollution that way. Hot air coming into this side. When you buy the single plane intake, it doesn't incorporate that, so no more hot air comes in. But we'll start at the front and work our way to the back. So right here is this thingamabob. I'm sure it has a name. I'm sure at one time it was important. This has just got 3 vacuum ports. It was plugged in, but who knows when the last time it was plugged in. And then another one right here. The only thing we have left here now is this charcoal canister. So remember, your gas line comes from the back, the vent plugs into this, and then, you know, gets sucked back in there. This one over here on the side is 16 millimeter by 1.5 threads. All of this went to the firewall side, and then it runs over here. So there's a bunch of stuff going on over here. This is your emergency release cable. And then this is a water line. Right, so this went to the carburetor to heat up the choke side. So if we just reach in here like we're grabbing spaghetti, there's a whole bunch of hoses down here, and we're just gonna pulp them off like this. Okay, so here they come. So now when we look at it from this side, this is where they plugged in to the car. That's where they go out. So now down here you can see a distribution block, right? So right here, this is where all the hoses went. You see this one goes back down in there, and then he's got part of it capped off from something else, and it runs over here to this thing. Right, so what we can do for now to get that out of the way is we'll try to pull this off without breaking. There we go. So we got that hose off. Okay, so vacuum goes into this thing from the same place it comes out of. So if you just pull all of these off, it's not connected to anything. But there's 2 bolts down there. We can pull that out, and it's going to be attached to this hose. So this hose used to go into the carburetor choke and then come out of the carburetor choke. Hot water went in there to help heat your car up so that you polluted less. And then here's another hose to the carburetor. He's got a bolt stuck in. Look, bolts are great for temporary plugs, but let's not leave them in there forever. There's a better way. And besides, this type of hose, it gets kind of hard. So I'm going to take this off. It's 2 10mm, and then we'll be right back. So a couple extensions. So there's a hose clamp over there. Below the head should be empty. Okay, got it. So it's pretty degraded anyway. But anyway, so vacuum comes in and vacuum comes out from all of these things. So you can see this one was busted, this one's busted. Some of them are plugged in, some of them are not. All we really need to do is we'll just take this hose and connect it back to this other hose end right here. Sorry, other hose end right here. I'll get you better light. Or you could go all the way on the other side, and that's water line feed on the other side of the car from the pump into the heater core. See right down there? This little bitty hose right here. We'll pull that off. We'll take this, plug it into that, tighten it up, and then the whole system's closed again. If you get the single plane, that gets blocked off, so you don't have to worry about it. The light will help me to see, because it's going to be a pain in the ass. It's off center. So it's dark, but right here's the hose barb coming out. Comes out of the intake. Then all we really have to do now is plug this one, and then plug this other line over here off the carb, and they're done. Technically, if we had a hose that would fit over both, we could just run a single hose over here. But, you know, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to take this one loose, because it looks to be in pretty good shape. And I'm curious to see what he's got this plugged with. I bet it's a great big bolt. Whatever it is, it's stuck on there pretty good. So, now it's a little piece of pipe. yourself one of those. Come like this, and then go like this. Cuts it nice and straight, right? Where did my light go? Oh, over here. So set up your hose clamp for ease of tightening, right? It's just my opinion, but I think that looks better. And less chance of vacuum leaks from if anything was hooked up to it. Now I can clean all that off. I have to get to this big hose. So the more hand room I have, the better for me. Because the big hose right here is leaking. So that's fixing to come off and get replaced. So we can just put a plug on here, and then no more vacuum leaks from there. There's one more under here I saw that was open. We'll get to that in a minute. So on the internet, I found some metric plug kits for the car. They come in various sizes, all the way up to like 22 millimeters. So that should be around Friday. We'll be able to plug that, and then we'll be able to plug the end over here. And then the de-smogging will be complete. So I'll save this video until the parts get here and we get them installed, and we'll pick it up from there. So until that comes, thanks. Well, you won't even know. Well, I just told you. Okay, so that's all for this part. We'll put the plugs in, and then we'll be done with de-smogging. Thanks for watching. But you still have to watch the end. Okay, so we're back. Desmogification. So we sealed up this one on the top. It was 18 millimeter by 1.5 threads. This one over here on the side is 16 millimeter by 1.5 threads. I'm going to put a little bit of gasket sealer around the threads just in case. With the exhaust hooked up on the standard manifold, there's going to be some exhaust gas coming through here. And I'm pretty sure this is going to counter seat all the way back to where the threads stop. And it's not. It's going to go on forever. So we're going to take this one out. And we'll use it for something else in the future. We have this one. So this one is 16 millimeter by 1.5 thread. Oh, we're golden. And we can just give that a good snug. It's stainless on aluminum, so whatever you want to break. Okay. So car's de-smogged, took off the air pump, plugged that, took off all the vacuum lines. We only have technically one vacuum line left, and it's running from the port on the carb over to the vacuum advance on the distributor. So we are de-smogged. I know some other things happened while this was going on, but pay no attention to that. I just did that because. So if y'all have any questions, I know you're gonna have questions, but here's, let me just start with this. Go on Amazon, buy this kit. This car only had one plug. The 79 had 2 plugs on the head. If you get the single plane manifold from Vic's, you don't need any of this stuff down here. All you have to do is hook up your brake booster hose and you're done. So he didn't want to do that right now. That's something we may plan in the future. So for now, engine side is not done. Fuel filter, fuel line, we'll do that next. GoPro, stop recording.